Joining me now is Senator Mike Braun. He's a member of the Budget Committee from the great state of Indiana. Mr. Braun, it's very kind of you to come on a Friday. I don't apologize, but I do thank you for your patience listening to me riff here. I'd like to get you on both topics because I know you're on top of these topics. Let me just begin with the Roe v. Wade thing, okay, sir? I mean, it's whatever you may think of the decision, it's inconceivable to me, number one, that Madam Psaki, speaking for her boss, Joe Biden, is not concerned about the leak. They're not. And number two, they're saying it's okay to have these people surround the homes of the Chief Justice and the Associate Justice. Mr. Braun, I do not understand this. This is, this is crazy left-wing progressive. I thought they were they're not law and order. They want to defund the police and they want to defund the Supremes. What do you think, Senator?
Well, it goes along with Schumer. It was roughly a year ago when he was haranguing, I think, both Gorsuch and Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court steps. They, Larry, are in a pickle with the political agenda. And they're going to get to the bottom of it. We discussed that last week in our luncheon among all Republicans. I'll find out who released it. But, yes, I think it's a diversion. And I think even when you look at why aren't they mentioning the fact that that's never happened before in the Supreme Court? They think they can maybe win with this politically due to the fact that you mentioned it, inflation, border, crime in their cities. That's not going to work. It's been so bad for so long when you look at the Biden agenda. We're going to get the House back in November. Now the Senate's in play as well. And Roe versus Wade is just a reach politically to talk about something other than the record.
You know, sir, of course, I agree with you on these points. I just want to note, though, it's very interesting to me, because they're not taking the position of Chief Justice Roberts and the court as to how horrible this leak was. I mean, it's a very corrupt thing that's gone. And almost everybody outside the administration has taken that view, but not them. And because, Senator Braun, they're not calling the dogs off with respect to picketing or, who knows how violent it's going to be around their homes or blasting this group for releasing their home addresses. So I was just thinking, sir, whatever one thinks of the Roe v. Wade decision, the administration's actions, they're not law and order actions, they're the opposite, will undermine their whole position. People will be so turned off by this.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, that goes with the hypocrisy of what's happened in the cities they've run for years. That same kind of ignoring. They focus on the January 6th issue. But yes, this is a breach that's never occurred. And what does that do for the kind of ability to make rulings, make decisions when you can be picketed, at your house and there's no mention made by the other side of the aisle? That's politics at its worst. It's got to have every Supreme Court justice and Alito, the way they've been going after him, targeting him. I mean, it's beyond the pale, and they'll pay for it in November.
Senator Braun, did you hear that President Biden asked the National Guard to help the Associate Justices or the Secret Service? Had you heard that? I hadn't heard that. I was thinking maybe I must have missed something because that would have been way too commonsensical.
Now, the only thing that's happened around the Capitol is, of course, the fence has gone back up. And I think that is for them to kind of dramatize further their own point of view. But no, that's the hypocrisy embedded makes politics, that part of my job, so difficult to navigate through.
All right, so let me come back. You're a businessman, former businessman, and so forth. Wasn't a bad jobs report. It's a little slower. We were running 530 some odd thousand new jobs per month. This month was just over 400,000. Actually, with the downward vision, it was about 390,000, but it wasn't awful. I'm seeing a bit of a slowdown, sir, in average hourly earnings. Of course, the inflation rate is very high. The unemployment rate is still 3.6%. What do you make of it? What is your own assessment of the economy?
Well, I was in a budget hearing with Bernie Sanders chairing yesterday. Of course, we didn't talk one thing about budget. This whole thing we did, Larry, was created a sugar high into the economy. It dislocated everything that was working pre-COVID. And I was running a business 37 years prior to becoming a senator, sworn in January of 19. Things were working. Wages were going up the old-fashioned way. You find out that the extended unemployment benefits, maybe half of them were hacked. That was $875 billion worth, as much as we did for TARP. That is money sloshing around in every corner. You mentioned it earlier. Jay Powell and the Fed have accommodated every inch of it. So I called it a fake economy, but we did it out of uncertainty. Then they commandeered it with all this other Build Back Better stuff, the rescue bill, another $2 trillion in debt. I got here, we were $18 trillion in debt a little over 3 years ago. We're 30 now, and Biden puts a budget out there that puts us $45 trillion in debt in 10 years. They call it the modern monetary theory. That's an excuse for just borrowing and spending, and it's going to take us into rough, choppy waters sooner rather than later.
Just from your own, your business background, you're in touch with the voters, Indiana, salt of the earth, middle American kind of state and so forth. How difficult and Senator, how stubborn is this inflation going to be? Because then I want you to answer this for sure, but I just want to say, Jay Powell goes out Wednesday in that news conference and tries to sugarcoat the whole thing. He sugarcoats the entire problem and basically, blaming it on Putin and COVID and whatnot. What are you hearing back home? How stubborn do you think the inflation is going to be?
Well, it's outstripped real wage gains by about 50%. That was all headed in the right direction. I'll harken back to my first home mortgage in '78. Dates me a little bit, but had I waited 4 years, it would have been 18%. Look what it took Volcker to do back in the last rendition of this. I'm wondering if the Fed can do much. I'm a believer that the cost push side of inflation is what's really kept a lid on it. The global economy, which now is getting reoriented due to China. A lot of people are, going to be redoing their supply chain issues. That is what's kept the lid on inflation. And we upended that when bureaucrats and government took over and screwed up the supply chain. Powell accommodated. The balance sheet is bigger than it's ever been. I don't know when we get this back in the Pandora's box. Last time it happened, it took high interest rates and a long time.
Yes, sir. I was around then, a young professional, and a high inflation, bringing that down, if they ever do, without a recession, is very unlikely, sir. It's very unlikely. I've been in and out of this economic game for a long, let's say difficulty, okay? I like your word difficulty on a Friday evening. Senator Mike Braun, you're terrific to join us. We appreciate it, sir. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.